So, this story is very far about such an island where humans were forced to be kept. And the surprising thing was that even the people living here did not know that they were forced to be kept here. So at the beginning of the story, we see a couple who went out on a boat to celebrate their holidays. But then some people come and drag the boy, whose name was Lincoln, into the water. Then he hears voices around him. He was hearing that he is a special person, he has a special purpose. But then his eyes open, he realizes that it was just a dream of his. In fact, he used to live in a highly advanced lab. There he thought of a robot that was fitted into the walls there. He also finds out that Lincoln did not sleep well, so he asks the doctor to meet him for him. We are here. Here in the lab, we see that the boys were also kept here, but the boys were not allowed to talk to each other. Here was a friend of Lincoln whose name was Jordan, and she was the same dream girl that we saw at the beginning of the story. Here we find out that the virus has spread in the outside world, so they were kept here to save themselves from the virus, which was also a very big island. There was no virus of any kind here. Now to get out of here. There was also a lottery system to get out of here, whose name used to come. That person used to go out of the lab. There is a man's name in the lottery, which means that he could go out now. We see people like Lincoln in the lab. They were doing some kind of work in the lab or preparing something. Not this. There was a wire in which these people were adding different types of vitamins. Some person was forced to be brought to the lab every day. We see a woman who was about to become a mother. She was also told to go out of the lab because of becoming a mother. A doctor comes to the lab who came to check Lincoln. He asks Lincoln about his dream and asks him to make a drawing. The boat that he saw in his dream, Lincoln makes it very well. The doctor was very surprised to see this and therefore asks him to stay in the lab for more treatment. But what did he understand? He also had a good brain and could just speak. He thought that Lincoln's condition was because of his husband's, so he should not have seen a man die. He also said that in calculations, miracle had allowed the victim to go to jail. This is because raw analytics have become very vague. How can a person trainer seriously become a master in using no Fitzpatrick system? He said that no, like he put on Quater. Therefore, such measures have been used for microsensors. It was icon for putting in a mother's brain. People didn't know anything about the outside world. Who loves what? Lincoln wanted to know all these things. One day, when that man was busy in the village, Lincoln sees a fly flying and thinks that if the outside world is not capable of breathing, then how does this fly live? Now he locks this fly in the box and leaves from here. One day, when that man came to fix the computer in the lab, Lincoln's friend sees that the doctor was taking out a living person from a boat whose wires were connected to the medicines in the lab on which the people living in the lab were working. That is, with the help of those wires, the medicines were delivered to them, giving them a kind of relief and making them human. The doctor now prepares that man, puts a tag on him, and sends him to the lab. The doctor now prepares that man, puts a tag on him, and sends him to the lab. The next day, the lottery is announced in which the name of Jordan was mentioned. That is, they were now going to take Jordan out of the island. Thinking this, Lincoln was very worried, so at night he comes to the area where he was forbidden to go. The fly he had with him leaves him in the air, chases him, and goes to the medical area, where he goes and sees that the woman who is going to be a mother, his child looks like her. A woman was given, and the doctor then kills that woman. When Lincoln goes ahead, he sees that the man whose name was mentioned in the lottery in the afternoon, his doctor was doing an operation. When that man comes to his senses and looks like this, he gets scared and tries to run. But the doctor catches him and takes his liver out. Lincoln understood all this, that something like this is definitely going to happen to Jordan. Because he had also won the lottery, Lincoln goes and tells Jordan everything. And now they both plan to run from here. But the security guards here see them and try to catch them. Oh, they had reached a room while running, where they see that a lot of people had been kept there. But they were not in their senses. An audio was being fitted into their minds. This audio is being said, "You have been chosen. You have been very special. You have a very special purpose in life. That is, you have been chosen. You are very special to live on this island." And Lincoln also heard this in his dreams over and over again. these people showed them the same videos and brainwashed them. That is, they turned their attention to all these people. Then they both came to a bridge while running, where they see there was a room in which the outside world could be seen with the help of cameras. They had come to know that in reality there is no sign of this island, because the outside world is absolutely fine. They both now left the lab and came to the real world. Here they were breathing easily. These people had now run away. The doctors tell everyone in the lab that Lincoln and Jordan had a virus. That is why they have been kept in the lab to treat them. A lab to treat them. The head doctor of the lab had called a man who was going to kill Jordan and Lincoln in the outside world. Here we come to know that the lab was actually working to make organs for its clients. That is, if anyone needed body parts. For example, hands, feet, or any internal part. There were a lot of businessmen, politicians, and very famous people were their clients, and such people used to come to them, whose body parts had stopped working, or those people who could not give birth. So, with the help of Dr. DNA, they used to make their clones, that is, a duplicate of them. Their counterpart human, and then any part of their body they could take out for their client. And in the end, after all this work, clones, that is, a duplicate human, was killed. In fact, in the beginning, when they tried to make clones because of the vegetative method, vegetative means that stage in which a person is alive, but there is no emotion in it, feeling. That is, he lives like a living dead, can't feel anything, as if a person has gone into a coma. But this experiment of theirs did not work. That is why they made clones in a different way, in which they put those memories in their minds. That as soon as they came to this island, their childhood story. Now here we come to know that Jordan was a very big celebrity in the real world. The whole Jordan, who had gone into a coma after the accident. He also needed organs. On the other hand, Lincoln was also Tom Lincoln, who was a very big designer. He had a big fate. The doctor in the lab, he was a very big supplier of body parts. And how did he do it? No one knew. That is, they make clones. Even their client did not know about this, because it was all forbidden in the real world. And the lottery system was also fake. The lottery was also won by the same people who had the time to take out some part. On the other hand, Lincoln and Jordan come to the outside world. Lincoln goes to his friend. That man was very worried to see them, because they were both clones. This man says you should go back, because you don't have any real identity. You are just a duplicate of someone. But Jordan says that we have to tell everything to our real person. Because of the organs, the doctor is making their duplicates. Now that man had agreed to tell them again and again. First of all, he tells them the way here, and he also gives them some money. He teaches them how to meet their real person. He puts them on the train. There is the same man who was sent by the doctor to kill them when he finds out that this man has helped them. So he goes there and kills him, following Jordan and Lincoln. That man had reached the station, but they both escaped from him. At the right time, the train had also arrived. When they reached the city, everything had changed. The world had progressed a lot. Jordan comes here and sees a very big poster, which was all Jordan's. That is, it was made from whose DNA it was made. She takes the number and calls his house, from which she comes to know that he is in the hospital due to a car accident, and he also has a son. When they both escape and go to the hospital, that man had also come there, who wanted to kill them. They also escaped from there and escaped. Then they go to Lincoln's real owner's house, whose name was Tom Lincoln. When he meets him, he is surprised. He was exactly like this. Lincoln tells that the doctor is preparing your clones in order to give you organs. Now Tom Lincoln promises to help here, but he was lying because one of his kidneys was bad. He was only interested in this thing. And how did the doctor prepare it? He didn't want to know this. He tells the doctor about them. In fact, Tom Lincoln was a boat designer. He used to make the designs of boats. That's why Lincoln used to have the same dreams. On the other hand, the doctor was still researching everything in the lab. Why did Lincoln have dreams? They come to know that their owner, that is, the real person, whatever he will do, he can see them in his dreams. That's why the doctor was scared now. He tells everyone to kill all the clones here, so that they don't become a threat in their future life like Lincoln. Oh, told it, Lincoln. There, that man also reached Tom Lincoln's house. There is a lot of fight between real Lincoln and fake Lincoln, the clone, that is, the fake Lincoln. He ties his lab ID to the real hand, due to which that man kills him thinking him a clone. The clone came to kill Lincoln, but he accidentally killed the real Lincoln while the clone Lincoln was still alive. The man who was sent by the doctor to kill was now in search of Jordan, which Lincoln had hidden. The clone Lincoln was now living like the real Lincoln. One day, the doctor's video call comes to him, in which the doctor tells that we need your DNA, what we had made a clone before. We have to destroy them because of some problem. Lincoln understood that they were going to kill everyone, because he had a lot of friends among them, that he makes a plan with Jordan. They both now came back to the lab, the doctor who was doing research in the lab. He also finds out that the one he had killed was the real Lincoln, while the fake Lincoln is still alive. Their Lincoln goes to that machine, due to which the whole island was made, so that he could kill him. Jordan also moves forward to save everyone, but the doctor comes and stops Lincoln. They have a lot of fight. At the end of this fight, Lincoln had killed the doctor. He hangs him with a chain. While breaking that machine, the whole lab was about to break. Everyone was freed from this prison. Finally, everyone knows about the real world outside. What is the reality of the real world outside? And all the peons were living their lives. A few days pass. We see Lincoln and Jordan on a boat, who were going somewhere. They were also about to start their new life. And this was the same scene that we saw in the beginning of the story. That means it was not a dream, it was reality. And with this, the movie ends here.